بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولتجدنهم أحرص الناس على حياة ومن الذين أشركوا يود أحدهم لو يعمر 1000 سنة وما هو بمزحزحه من العذاب أن يعمر والله بصير بما يعملون صدق الله العظيم. Regarding ayat number 96 of Surat Baqarah, we've spoken a little bit about the reality of this dunya, the reality of this worldly life. And the reality of those who love this dunya, love this worldly life, and they have made it the purpose of their life to try and build their paradise in this dunya, in this world. But the truth is that no matter how long we may have to live in this dunya, no matter how long we may be given life in this world, a time has to come where eventually we have to leave this world. And death, it is inevitable. It is the most powerful creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And has not spared anyone. Even Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was not spared. And for some, this death, it becomes a blessing. And for others, this death, it becomes a curse. For those who are content with the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and who live a simple life, they are not greedy. They do not have greed in their eyes that they're looking for or looking at the things of other people. Then the people those who have that contentment in their heart, that whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed them with, they're grateful for, and they live their life with those favors in gratitude. For them, this life becomes a blessing, death becomes a blessing, the qabr becomes a blessing, and the akhirah becomes a blessing. The blessing of this dunya, the blessing of this world, is having that level of contentment that a person, every night that he goes to sleep or he goes to his bed, he's able to go with a content heart, a clean heart, and he's able to go stress-free to his bed. But for those who go at night, spend the whole day working for this world, working for this dunya, and at the end of the day they're tired, and whatever they have achieved, it just never ends. They're always trying to achieve more and more. They think that they'll get it now, and they don't even know where their goals are. For them, even life becomes bitter, it becomes difficult. Every moment of their life, every time they get to one point, they become greedy for the next point. It never ends. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he told the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, this was part of the hadith that we spoke about yesterday, that who will take from me these 5 advices, man ya'khudhu anni ha'ula'i al-kalimat faya'amalu bihin wa yata'allamu man ya'amalu bihin. Whosoever or who will take from me these 5 words of advice, and they'll act upon it, or they'll teach it to someone who will act upon it. So Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, he said, I'll take them. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam took his hand and started counting these 5 kalimat. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam told him, اتق المحارم تكن أعبد الناس. Stay away from haram. You'll be the most righteous person. Our idea of righteousness is somebody who does so much dhikr, somebody who prays so much nawafil, somebody who is doing so many good deeds. This is our idea of righteous person. But the real righteousness is that person who has taqwa in their heart. And that taqwa is at such a level that it stops a person from committing sins. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us in the Quran regarding the qualities that are required for being a friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, becoming what they say a kamil, being a complete person, reaching that kamal or that perfection of wilayat, of friendship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the formula in the ayat of the Quran. Ala inna awliya Allah la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun alladhina amanu wa kanu yattaqun. That Ala inna awliya Allah, definitely, or the reality is that the friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun. They'll have no fear on them, or there'll be no fear on them. وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ, nor will they have any grief. What are their qualities? الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ. They are those who have iman, or who believe. وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ, and they are those who had taqwa. وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ, they were of those who had taqwa. The unique style of the Quran. There are two results that are mentioned. And then the actions that bring about those results are mentioned. The result is no fear and no grief. That is a result. But this is a result of what? Iman and taqwa. The person who has iman, who believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one thing that he understands is that whatever will happen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is allowing it to happen. And His plan is perfect. He is Al-Hakim, Al-Alim. So this person has this iman in their heart. And once you have that iman in your heart, so what will you fear? What is there that you could possibly fear? You know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is doing everything that is destined for you. What is not destined for you, so it's not destined for you. But every single thing that is coming in the future, whatever we might fear, when the person has iman deep down inside their hearts, that he believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so whatever other people will fear, this person, he'll know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will allow that to happen out of His wisdom. And at that time will protect him as well. This is what is iman. The unique result of iman is that those who are true mu'mineen, you will not find that they fear. They will not have this fear. In general, the real mu'mineen, people will talk about, oh, so-and-so is out to get you, or this group is out to get you, or there's this new law that will do this to you, or they'll do that to you. And you'll see how firm the mu'mineen are. One of the greatest examples is the example of the Ghazwa of Uhud. After the battle of Uhud, the believer, they had suffered loss. Many of them were wounded, many were even shaheed. They were martyrs, and many of them were hurt very, very badly. And at that time, the hukum came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the kuffar are regrouping, go and follow them. And only those who fought in the battle are allowed to go and fight again. You can imagine somebody already wounded, exhausted, may have taken losses, their family lost, other people they've lost, and they're told, now get up and go fight again. So the munafiqeen, the hypocrites, they tried to make the Sahaba afraid. So they started saying, oh, the people, they're going to crush you, and they have much more weapons than you, and there are more people than you, the kuffar are like this and kuffar are like that. They started trying to instill this fear in the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He speaks about this incident in Surah Al-Imran. That at that moment when they were told to go, they had suffered what is called al-qarh, very, very severe pain and wounds they had suffered at that time. But even in all of that, they understood that they had to obey the hukum of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So while the people, the other munafiqeen and other people were trying to make them afraid, الَّذِينَ قَالَ لَهُمُ النَّاسِ إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ فَاخْشَوْهُمْ. The people were trying to say, oh, the kuffar have gathered, they've regrouped, they have their weapons, they're so strong, they're this and that. فَاخْشَوْهُمْ, trying to make them afraid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا. That made their iman even more firm. They said, then if it's time to go, it's time to go. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us to go. And He knows what is best. Our iman is that we're not afraid of anyone. We only bow to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the rest is just creation. And creation we can face, no problem. فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا وَقَالُوا حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. And they said, حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. These are very, very powerful words. Amongst the wazaif of the awliya of Allah, this is also حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. These were the words of also Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam when they were throwing him into the fire. He said, حَسْبِيَ اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more than sufficient for me, or sufficient for us, and He's the best one to be trusted. The Sahaba, they said this. They were ready. Even with their wounds, they said, let's go. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the next ayah, and if you read the seerah also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us, فَانْقَلَبُوا بِنِعْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَفَضْلٍ لَمْ يَمْسَسْهُمْ سُوءٌ وَاتَّبَعُوا رِضْوَانَ اللَّهِ. Sahaba, they got up and they followed the kuffar. And there they went to one area, and the news came. The kuffar, they heard that, oh, the Sahaba are coming. And also they said that, the Sahaba, they're so mad that they're ready to chew your bones, So the kuffar are looking at one another, that, okay, who's going to stay? So someone said, you know what, we already won the battle, let's just go. Others said, yeah, let's savor our victory, let's just, They all had this meeting, they said, let's savor our victory, let's get out of here. So they all ran away. And the Sahaba, they went to one area. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَانْقَلَبُوا بِنِعْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَفَضْلٍ لَمْ يَمْسَسْهُمْ سُوءٌ. The Sahaba during that time, they had gathered whatever they could from the battlefield also. They were ready to fight. When they went to one area, they were given the news that, oh, the kuffar have gone back to Makkah. They're not ready to fight anymore. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave the Sahaba permission that, okay, go ahead and do business. Whatever you have taken as mal, as you brought for war, go ahead and sell it, no problem. So the Sahaba did good tijara, good business, they made good money, and then they came back. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has His plan. So this is the nature of Iman. Is that those who have Iman, they're not afraid of anything, they're not afraid of anyone. SubhanAllah, some of the mashayikh and ulama, you sit with them and you find what kind of Iman they have. Even in the face of very strange conditions. And the ulama, they're so firm. Some of the mashayikh at our institute also, we were sitting with them and they said that this hurricane is coming, this is going to happen and that is going to happen. And they were giving the different scenarios of what can happen with the hurricane. People were saying, you know what, we're packing, we're leaving. People were getting ready to get out, save themselves. They were saying if you don't get out, the highways will be blocked and this will happen and that will happen. Someone came and told the mashayikh also, you should start packing. He said, what hurricane? He's not going to come as, it doesn't come to Georgia. He said, don't worry. Wherever Quran is taught and deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, what hurricane can come? And so some rain happened, some wind happened, and after that there was no hurricane. It went the other way, South Carolina and North Carolina, the other side. But the kind of contentment that they had, they were not afraid of what was going to happen. This is one example. There's so many other examples of times where conditions have become very, very tough. There was a time where they were rounding up people, they were rounding up even imams of masajid. And ulama used to say, nothing is going to happen, don't worry. We stick to our deen, we're not harming anyone. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought His protection in amazing ways. So this is what the nature of Iman, the first aspect of Iman, is that those who have Iman, they're not afraid of the future. And what is the nature of taqwa? You fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A person who fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will live a very, very pure life. If nothing else, he will make his utmost effort not to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he will never get involved in things that will make him grieve. Because generally we grieve over things, mistakes that we have made. But for those who are righteous, they understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a Ghafur Rahim. He loves to forgive. So they do tawbah for their sins on one side. On the other side, they have this level of taqwa that they're able to stop themselves from committing sins. And if nothing else, they turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they understand. So they don't have grief either. This taqwa, it protects them from this. So this nature of taqwa, protecting yourself from anything and everything that would bring about the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We also, the translation is given the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When someone fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so they will stay away from sin or disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's easy to understand what is taqwa. We drive on these roads. What keeps us on the speed limit? We have this fear that there may be a cop somewhere. What makes you stop at that stop sign? Even though 100% there's no police around, you still stop. This is indirectly also called taqwa. Because we know the power of one ticket. We know the power of one police officer. So that's what's stopping us even on the small things. This is stop sign and this is speed limit. Otherwise, what's stopping us? We have cars that can go over 100 miles an hour. And what's stopping us from breaking those rules or those laws? Is the fear of that ticket. Similarly, what stops a person from disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It is this taqwa, this fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is what is real righteousness. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us this beautiful advice. Ittaqil maharim takun a'bad al-nas. Protect yourself from everything that is haram. Stay away from anything and everything that is haram. You'll be the most righteous person. There's reported about Salman al-Farisi radiyallahu anhu. And this is about a few other Sahaba as well. They came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam on various occasions to ask for advice. So Salman al-Farisi radiyallahu anhu. This is also reported about Sayyidina Sa'ad radiyallahu anhu as well. But they came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and he said that, make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes me mustajabud da'wat. There is a class of friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They have this quality of being mustajabud da'wat. Mustajabud da'wat means whatever dua they make, it is accepted. Whatever dua they make. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them this honor. Whatever dua, it is definitely accepted. So there was some Sahaba who used to have this wish. Who wouldn't want their du'as to be accepted? So he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes me mustajabud da'wat. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told him that, protect yourself from haram. Don't involve in anything that is haram. Also protect yourself from consuming anything haram. Simple formula. He said if you consume something haram, for 40 days that ibadah is not accepted. The dua is not accepted. Why? Because for 40 days now, medical science is telling us, when you eat something, your body takes nourishment from it for up to 40 days. It runs in the body, runs in the blood. So long as your body is being nourished with haram, how your dua is going to be accepted? And there are many ahadith related to this. Even ahadith to the point where there's a person who has disheveled hair. He's in a very exhausted mode. The hadith gives a description of a person who's extremely in difficulty and really extremely in need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then this person, he says, Ya Rabbi, Ya Rabbi, making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that how this person's dua will be accepted when his consumption is from haram, his earning is from haram, his clothing is from haram. This effect has a very profound impact on dua. Sometimes we say, oh, I'm making dua, my dua is not accepted. Check what you're eating, check what you're earning. If these are coming from haram sources, how your dua is going to be accepted? This is like, your car runs out of gas and you try to turn it on, it doesn't turn on. So instead of gas, now you put water in there, It's going to turn on. Instead of putting gasoline in the gas pump, you put water in there. Is it going to turn on? Yes or no? You can answer me. Will your car turn on? You put water in there? No. Put Zamzam in there, it won't turn on. Because this is not the place for water. This is the place for gas. In the gas tank. Similarly, you put something haram in the body. What effect, what impact do you think it's going to have? This is why it's very important that you take care of what you eat. It also has a very direct link with your ibadah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that He addressed the Anbiya alayhim as-salam and the messengers and the prophets. Ya ayyuha ar-rusulu kulu min at-tayyibat wa amalu salihah. That, O messengers, eat from the pure halal things of this world and perform righteous deeds. There's a very direct link between what you consume and what actions you commit, what actions you perform. So this is why be very careful with your eating. If something looks very good but you know it is haram, you're not going to die if you don't eat it. Just stay away from it. Eat simple, just something that is halal, that you know is halal. You'll see how much benefit, how much sakina you'll have in your life, how much tranquility you'll have in your life. Your du'as will also be accepted. So this is the first beautiful advice that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam he gave. Ittaqil maharim, takun a'bad an-nas. Protect yourself from haram. You'll be the most righteous person. Warda bima qasam Allahu lak. Warda bima qasam Allahu lak, takun aghna an-nas. Be content and be happy with whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is destined for you. You will be the richest human being. If you don't have greed in your eyes, you're looking, oh, he has this kind of car, oh, this person has this kind of house, oh, his house is bigger than mine. Oh, sometimes, subhanAllah, you go to some party and then on the way back, everybody starts talking about, did you see their sofa? And did you see their dish set? And did you see their fridge? Did you see their room? You know something? They clean their house and they fix it so you would say that. Whenever guests come over our house, how much we fix our house, Otherwise, if you go there just like that, suddenly you'll see it's not the way it looks. But this is, we have our greed in our eyes. Oh, did you see this and did you see that? These material things of this dunya, they don't bring happiness. But just be happy with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. Live a simple life. Takun aghna an-nas, you be the richest human being. The reality of greed is that if you are greedy, you become ungrateful. And if you're ungrateful, even whatever you have, you'll lose it. There's a parable that is given about a dog who had a bone in its mouth. There was a dog. It had a bone. This is about greed. It had a bone in its mouth. One of our mashayikh gave us this story. He said, take a lesson from this story. So this dog, it had this bone in its mouth and it was walking. At nighttime it was walking, there was a full moon. So the dog came across a lake. And he was passing by the lake, and with the moonlight in the night, he saw his reflection in the water. And to him, his reflection looked like there was another dog that had a bone, So this dog, the nature of dogs is that if the dog has a bone, he sees another dog with a bone, it will go and take that bone. And the dogs have the nature of greed. So this dog saw that this other dog has a bone. So he started barking at the dog, and he lost the bone that was in his mouth. This is what greed does. You start wanting what other people have, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make such conditions, you will lose what He has given you. So be grateful for what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. Be content with it. You'll see how beautiful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make your life. And He give you more. We're even told in the Quran, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you're grateful, we'll definitely increase our favors on you. وَلَإِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. And if you're ungrateful, then our punishment is very severe. The style of the ayah is very amazing also. We don't have time to go into the tafseer of every ayah. But the style of this ayah, particularly in Surah Ibrahim, it's very amazing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that if you're grateful for the favors I've bestowed upon you, I'll definitely increase them. Lami ta'kid, banuni ta'kid, thaqila. There is extreme emphasis, لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. I will definitely increase my favors on you. وَلَئِن كَفَرْتُمْ. But if you're ungrateful, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't say that we're going to punish you or that we're going to take the favors from you. No. He says, إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. My punishment is very severe. Because when you get to that level of ungratefulness, where now even every single favor you start to deny or you become ungrateful, and all you do is fuss and complain, then when the favors start being taken away, that moment you'll realize how severe the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can become. So I be grateful in every condition. Whatever condition it might be. Be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Takun aghna an-nas, you'll be the richest human being. The next advice that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave, that وَأَحْسِنْ إِلَى جَارِكَ تَكُنْ مُسْلِمًا. That be very, very good to your neighbor. You'll be a true Muslim. And this can be a physical neighbor. Have very good relationships with your neighbors. And also this can be your neighbor as far as those you meet with every day. Indirectly telling us, you go to the masjid and you meet people, be very, very good with them. These also become your neighbors. What else will you become? We may not even know each other's names. How many brothers we meet in the masjid, we don't even know their name. But we meet them for so long, we become shy to ask them their name, Become so close to them, brother. You ask them their name, so you don't even know my name, or years we've been meeting. But this also becomes like your neighbor. So yes, the actual hadith, take care of your neighbors, but also take care of those people you meet with every day. These can be the musallin in the masjid. These can be the employees you meet with at work. Be a very, very good person to all those who are around you. Takun Muslima, you'll be a true Muslim. The next advice that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave, the fourth advice that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam he gave, that love for your brother what do you love for yourself. Okay, love for mankind, what do you love for yourself? تحب للناس ما تحب لنفسك, that love for mankind, what you would love for yourself. Takun mu'mina, you'll be a true mu'min. And really, what do we love for ourselves? We want to have a good life and we want to make it to Jannah. So also wish that for the rest of humanity. Don't wish to condemn anyone. Don't say, oh, this person, he's done so much bad, and you start cursing them. This is not the nature of a mu'min. A mu'min is always thinking how I can benefit someone. You even see someone that is very, very evil person, make an effort on them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the Anbiya alayhimus salam. He sent them to nations that were very wicked. But they were told to have concern for those nations. The nature of a believer is like that of like a doctor, A patient comes with a sickness. The doctor doesn't hate the patient. They're taught to hate the sickness. You have concern for the patient. Similarly, as believers, we should have concern for those who are wicked, who may not be on the straight path. We should not be making fun of them or mocking them or saying, oh, you see this and you see that. This is why everybody's talking about the youth nowadays. The youth are like this and the youth are like that. Yes, but what effort have you made to help them? Have you ever sat down with them and had a discussion with them? Have you ever had concern for them? Somebody despises us, would we even say salam to that person? And then we despise the youth and we expect them to change. We should also treat them with extreme kindness. Have this concern, this fikr. Have some concern, spend some time with them. And actually have that mahabba in your heart, that how we can help them. Not that you're always just complaining, oh, they're like this and they're like that. This won't help them. So love for mankind, what you love for yourself. Takun mu'mina. You'll be a true mu'min. And the fifth advice, وَلَا تُكْثِرِ الضِّحْكِ فَإِنَّ كَثْرَةَ الضِّحْكِ تُمِيتُ الْقَلْبِ. And do not have excessive laughter. Because too much laughter kills the heart. When it comes to what is considered laughter, there are three stages. One is called tabassum, one is called dhihk, and the third is called qahqaha. These are three. The qahqaha is that laughter where the sound comes. Some people, they laugh so loud, or they laugh so hard that they make a sound. Their laughter has a sound. Qahqaha, it is haram. You're not allowed to laugh so loudly that you make sound. No. This is sin. Remember this. Some people that have this nature. Whenever they laugh so loud, they make a sound. This is not allowed. The second is called dhihk. Dhihk is you laugh, it doesn't have a loud sound. It's just a natural, simple sound of laughter. This is allowed. But if you do it too much, it has a karaha, it's a dislike, it's makruh. If you do too much. Because in numerous ahadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam has told us that too much laughter kills the heart. And kills the heart can mean literally the physical heart. It's not physically good for you to laugh too much. Don't believe what the scientists they say, oh, laughter is medicine for the heart. They don't know what they're talking about, okay? Yes, a little bit here and there, it's allowed. But not too much. Should be within limits. And the other thing is also that there's also a few other aspects of killing of the heart. One is the physical, it kills the heart. The other is in a moral sense. Somebody who laughs too much, nobody takes him seriously. You see a person always laughing. When he gets serious, everybody's like, okay, this guy he'll eventually laugh it off. Because people won't take you seriously. And a mu'min is supposed to be a serious person. There's also the spiritual killing of the heart. Too much laughter will make a person take things very lightly. So spiritually, you will not take the ahkam of deen the way that they should be given due importance. So this is what dhihk is. The third is tabassum. Tabassum is sunnah, to smile. The smiling of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It's always good to have a smile. Always smile. This is a sunnah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was always seen smiling. He was in a cheerful mood. He did not that every time somebody meets you and they walk away from you very gloomy. This is not, no. People meet you, their mood should change. They should feel happy, just meeting you. This is one of the qualities of a believer, that when people meet them, they walk away and they feel cheerful, they feel happy. You should not be always so serious with a monk face, or just somebody even says salam to you, wa alaikum assalam. This is not smile, subhanallah. Sometimes we think we're in our own. Sometimes we become so, even meeting somebody comes and gives us salam, and we just give them that. Brother, just relax. You didn't fall from heaven. Even if you did, you should have some courtesy to people around you. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, anyone that met him, even his enemies used to meet him. They used to feel so comfortable walking away from him. Just his nature, his smile used to change people. This should be the quality of a mu'min. Not that somebody comes up to you and gives you salam, and next time they think twice before they give you salam. They're like, this guy, don't even give him salam, This should not be. Be cheerful, be smile, I remember there was one person, there was a group of our friends, we went to one halaqah, one gathering. So they were telling us how great the sheikh was, that this sheikh is like this, and he's like this, and he has these many followers, and he has this much that and this. And sometimes a person gets airheaded, So after the gathering, people were meeting him, giving him salam. So one of my friends said, let's go meet. And I told one of my friends, I said, listen, we've met many ulama and shuyukh. They're different, When they talk, it's very different. I said, this person, his talk wasn't something that one can say. I don't even know if the person was a alim or not. But, so anyway, my friend insisted, let's go give him salam. I said, okay, fine. So we gave him salam, assalamu alaikum, and the guy just, not even saying salam, didn't even look at us, And after we walked away, so I asked my friend, I said, how? He had a very, that serious look face, like he was in some other zone, like he was in some muraqabah, or he was some, it was just very serious, After we walked away, we sat, we all just quiet. We all just we went to the car, we sat down. So I looked at my friend, I said, so how? What do you think? He started laughing. He was like, man, what kind of salam was that? I said, you insisted to give him salam, I said, how many, alhamdulillah, of our shuyukh and ulama we met? Has any of them give you salam? They said, no, man, our shuyukh, they give you salam, they hold your hand, they say salam to you, they smile. I said, yeah, this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to have, that smile, It makes a difference. So we should be very, very careful. So do not, this tabassum, smiling. This is sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Make everyone feel comfortable. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us honor. So these are the five advices of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Just quickly, stay away from haram. Ittaqil maharim. Stay away from haram. You be the most righteous person. Be content with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destined for you. You'll be the richest person. Be the best to your neighbor. Treat your neighbors with the best akhlaq. You'll be a true Muslim. The fourth one, love for mankind, what you love for yourself. You'll be a true mu'min. And the fifth one is that do not laugh too much. Don't have excessive laughter. Because too much laughter kills the heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding. And give all of us the tawfiq to practice His deen. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم اللهم نور قلوبنا بالقرآن وزين أخلاقنا بالقرآن ونجنا من النار بالقرآن وادخلنا في الجنة بالقرآن اللهم اجعل القرآن لنا في الدنيا قرينا وفي القبر مونسا وعلى الصراط نورا وفي الجنة رفيقا ومن النار سترا وحجابا ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.